Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the videos. The paid request this time for DarkMetalSpider, who wanted me to do a commentary and then a review of Kiss of the Tarantula. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. I could also, down below, I have my second YouTube channel. I have an Odysee, a channel on Odysee, which has a lot of backup videos. And also, if people want to send in special requests with footage, I can always upload in the middle upload and send you the link. You just have to contact me. We can work it out. But anyway, enough of that. Get into the topic at hand. Kiss of the Tarantula. And if you kiss something alright, it's between right there, down below my legs. I was not a fan of this film. I thought this was an insanely boring, sluggish, idiotic movie. It was lethargic. It was about a character, Susan, played by Suzanne Lean. And when she's a kid, her mother is cheating on her dad with his own brother. And the mother's being nasty about her hobby, which is Susan lights spiders. At one point we see her, I think, age 5, then we see her like age 10, I believe. And what happens is, one thing leads to another, the mom dies. It cuts to her as a teen, and one thing leads to another. Some folks go into her dad's mausoleum, where she lives at, and they mess around with her pets, her spiders. One of them dies. She wants to play a trick, whatever you want to call it. Some people end up dying, and that's when the snowball effect occurs. It's like trying to be maybe Terry, but with spiders, or... Which I know this sounds weird because this came out, I think, around the same time as Terry, but maybe they heard like buzz or, oh, this seems a lot of potential, so let's jump on it. Kind of like you had Iron Eagle many months before Top Gun. It's like, oh, this has a potential, so let's harp. Although I really liked Iron Eagle. Iron Eagle was actually a fun movie. This, and I don't mind Terry, the original Terry. I liked it. This was just insanely boring. From the very obvious low budget to the acting being there at best. Even from the opening, there are times during these flashbacks, like the showing the past of Susan's life, it'll show the grown-up Susan kind of staring, then abruptly cut to the flashback, then they'll show her face again, then cut to the flashback. Just show the flashbacks first. Just show her at age 5, show her at age 10 or whatever, and then have the first reveal of her, boom, her face staring off over there, and move on. And then like 2.5 minutes in, I think about 2.5 minutes in, I have it here, yeah, 2.5 minutes in, I'm at 2 minutes 34 seconds, where it's at the mausoleum that her dad works at. You notice there's like a shadow here where my thumb is, and like a shadow here, and it's like a curve, so it's like a curve going there and a curve going here. It's like something is like at the edge of the corners, top left and top right of the corners. Is that someone's hand? Is that someone's device? Someone's fingers? Like, get your fingers out of there. There's some shadow. I don't know what it is, but that appears like 2 or 3 times throughout the movie. And I'm paying more attention to that than whatever story's trying to tell. All the story's trying to tell really isn't all that. Because, like I said, Susan lives with her dad. There's an uncle who's a cop, and he's a bit of a pervert. And then he was the one sleeping with the girl's mom, and then the girl found out and put spiders on her mom, and the mom's deathly afraid of spiders, so she dies of fright. Cut to years later, she still has her hobby with her tarantulas. And for some reason, they bring in this boyfriend character named Joe, who's at a payphone. He appears like one more time, and you never see him again. Or maybe two more times. One or two more times after the payphone scene. Hey, I'm coming over. Like 2 or 3 more times. You never see him again. I'm sitting there going, where's Joe? Where's this guy? Like, why did you build up this whole scene of him talking on the payphone, blah, blah, blah? If you went nowhere, he disappeared. Maybe he jumped to the Twilight Zone. Maybe he just fucked it and jumped out to escape the movie. Does he need to be slow as hell? Slow as molasses? If this movie had a foot race with a sloth, it would lose. It's too damn slow. So one night, these 3 guys, I don't remember why they're trying to steal like a casket or something. And then they kind of try to mess with her, go to the basement, find her spiders in these cages. They drop one accidentally and kill one, but then immediately they're sorry, they're mournful, they leave. I'm like, okay, that's a bit different. They're not aggravating the situation more. They're not laughing about it. They're not ha. Like, okay, they're sincerely sorry. So then that just made Susan's retaliation seem even more egregious. So there's a drive-in, which I'm thinking, man, this drive-in has Dirty Harry and Magnum Force. And Magnum Force is my favorite Dirty Harry film. Back to back on a double feature. Can I be seeing that instead? Seeing both of those films back to back would go quicker than this movie. So you have this 4 people, 2 couples at the drive-in. She puts tarantulas in there, and you get one of the most dumb, silliest, ridiculous scenes that I sat and I don't know if I took my glasses off, but I just went, are you kidding me? Are you joking me? Are you joking me? Like, okay, I don't like spiders either. Although tarantulas seem a bit more... Tarantulas seem the least scariest of the spiders. I mean, they're bigger, but they seem less scarier, maybe because they're fuzzy, and they seem kind of chill for the most part, and I don't know. But they're freaking out. It's not like these spiders are biting. It's not like they're poisonous with one bite. And because they're going so slow, number one, if you would feel this. And it goes on for so long, the spider crawling up here, spider crawling up here. It feels like it goes on for 5 minutes. Slow spider. It's trying to be building suspense, but it's not, because it's not filming the spiders in any sort of scary, frightening way. Spiders themselves don't seem scary or frightening. Those tarantulas don't. This director that I don't think ever made a film again, I don't think he was up to par, by far, is just dragged on to the point of, okay, this is getting silly. Like, you're not going to notice all these spiders? Come on. Well, maybe their hands, okay, you know where the hands are? If I feel another one, whether it's a spider or not, I'm going to freak out. I don't care if it's your arm or the arm between your legs or arm up your ass. I don't care. I'm going to notice. So then, this is like Halloween Ends stupidity. They're freaking out. The guy can't get out of the driver's seat, so he tries to kick open the window on the other door, but he does this, and he hits the lady, and her head goes through the window, and it's bleeding, and she's dead. Then the guy's freaked out. He can't get out. He gets trapped on the steering wheel and suffocates. Then the other guy sees the car door. Apparently no one knows how to unlock their doors and stuff in this movie. So he tries to open up, even though the door's like this wide, and I guess the car's kind of rolling, so the car goes like, And then the fourth one, she just in fright. Oh my god, what am I watching? This is like the most weird freak Darwin accident I've ever seen in my life. You gotta be kidding me. If they had brain cells, what is going on here? What is going on? So what happens is the one girl is in the hospital and she freaks out from time to time. The last time we see her, she freaks out over a spider and flowers. But then we never see her again, so I don't know what her final fate was, if she was institutionalized, if she got healthy again. Because she knows this Susan girl probably has something to do with it. Or, well, maybe she didn't, but to be fair, but a little bit of something. There was another guy, I think his name was Bo, and not Bo Jackson. Bo knows Bo, and Bo knows Bo's. He's acting kind of like, hey, I apologize for what happened the other night in your basement with the spiders. Let's go here. Takes her to drive-in. This, what'd you do to my friends? What'd you do to my... I mean, you were playing it smart and cool, apologizing this facade, and then you completely ruin it and what'd you do to my friends? And you can't really blame the guy too much. I mean, he screwed up in the basement. He should not have done that, but... And then he's like adamant about what happened to his friends. But at the same time, he's not a nice guy, where it is he's not leaving her alone, but at the same time, like, they don't harp on it earlier, which was kind of refreshing. But then he's in a ventilation shaft job, like looking through air ducts. And it's so brightly lit, lightly Brit. There's more light in this vent than my room right now. It was brighter. I'm like, where are the lights coming from? I don't know if vents come with their supply of lights. Maybe John McClane needed that in Die Hard. And she just puts like a dozen tarantulas in the front, and he's so scared. He backs up, and he doesn't decide to go forward. He doesn't decide to leave. I guess he died of fright, suffocation, whatever. I'm like, what is going on here? This is getting ridiculous, man. Especially when you have tarantulas that are just... The way they're filmed are not as scary as these people react. It's like they're dying because their brain cells got depleted. Or something. These characters suck. And Susan, there's not much to her performance. She's very kind of lackluster, bland. Far cry from, say, Carrie. And Sissy Spacek knew how to sell the emotion and the rage, and this is a far cry from that. And this far cry from, like, Brian De Palma with the way he directed and the split screens. This is a far cry from that. And then you wonder, like, where is this going now? Like, where is this leading to? It's just taking his sweet time. The uncle, who's the cop, goes to see Susan, finds out that she may be a part of this. You get a bit of incest. Because he kisses her, but she doesn't want it. And now I guess we're supposed to leave our sympathies with her. And then this guy, cop, is the bad guy. Because there's a witness that saw that. And the guy does this long, boring foot chase through the woods. Grabs her. Takes care of this girl, Nancy. It's funny, I was watching going, oh, good job being so careless, Nancy Drew. And then the guy's like, Nancy. I'm like, oh, her name is Nancy. Wow. Didn't realize that. Or maybe I did, but I just forgot it. And then, like I said, the boyfriend Joe completely disappeared. He never comes back. The father is just of the girl is just oblivious, doesn't know a single thing was happening. By the end, still has oblivious. The girl in the hospital, she freaks out one time over seeing a spider and flowers, and then we never hear from her again. The cop persists on Susan, and then they have a struggle. He falls down the stairs. Spoiler alert. Sorry, I should have said that. Spoilers. Heavy spoilers. He gets paralyzed. And I'm thinking, okay, Kiss of the Tarantula is going to end with the tarantulas. She's going to put it on him, and he's going to be scared to death again, like all these other people. Something else. No. The ending has nothing to do with the tarantulas. Which they made such a big point of. No, instead, the woman that he killed. This takes like 10 minutes where Susan lowers that body up from the coffin, then lowers the guy who's paralyzed down, then wraps him up a bit, then lowers the body up and puts on top of him. Now, maybe because this is the 1970s, I didn't know coffins were that big to have two sets of bodies. Also, for those who work at mausoleums, I want to know, for fact, were there times where coffins, when you put the body in, then you put like a glass case over it, and then the top? Just like the body, and then you put like, then there's like a glass window, as if you were getting stuff for the freezer or grocery store, and then you put the actual cover. I've never seen that before in a movie. So if that's factual, okay, cool. If not, I don't know why. But if that was a thing, I'd never do about that. And then she did that by the time the father got home, and she's like, hey, everything's okay, Dad. Then, the end. So, the performances are lacking. The pace is lethargic and slow. The attack scenes, the spiders, the tarantulas are not really given much of a threat. Again, there are times where you see like shadows. Well, another time, like 59 minutes in. That's another time where you have like shadows on the top left and like shadow little here in the top corners, left and right corners. And it's a snooze-inducing movie. And your ending doesn't even deal with the tarantulas. And like, are we supposed to sympathize with Susan? Well, she murdered people. I mean, the guy in the vent, he wasn't the nicest guy, but doesn't mean he deserved to be murdered. I don't know why the boyfriend, why did they bring him up if he then just disappears for the rest of the movie? Like, okay, when was the last time we even see this guy? Is it really like near the beginning of the film? I'm trying to think if he's at the funeral. I don't even know. Like, the last time we see him is like 25 minutes in, where he tells that they're going to be at the drive-thru. Those guys. That's not the last time we see him. I don't know why I'm hampering and honing in on that. This writing is just, again, you want to see spiders? Go watch Arachnophobia. Go watch Kingdom of the Spiders with William Shatner. Arachnophobia is my favorite, though. Even that film, Big Ass Spider. Like, there's other ones to watch than this. And there's other Terry ripoffs I'm sure you didn't think of that you'd watch than this. This was just such a snooze fest. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.